Hello friends, Mark at Bear Hobbies and welcome to Korea Hobby Fair 2019. Let's have a look around and welcome to the show. So we're inside the venue, the Hobby Fair 2019 in Korea. Got two sections. This section are displays by a lot of Korean modelers and clubs. And that really big queue at the back there, these guys are all queuing up for Academy models that seem to have released some new editions. They are celebrating their 50-year anniversary. Everybody knows about the new AH-1Z that they've released, but there's also a few others. Hi. A lot of people here early in the morning. So there's the new Viper by Academy, and also the 144 scale B1B. The Enterprise, I'm not too sure if that's a new kit or not. Got an M10 tank destroyer, Panther, and a Stug 4 by the looks of things on display there. But what seems to be very popular at the moment, see the guys here are choosing kits from a selection, and they are buying in the masses. Believe me, the Viper will be doing very well, I should imagine. To the queue. This is the 1/6 scale action figures. Really cool dioramic setup of an EOD specialist here, struggling while the counter goes off. For an excellent display. These are like 1/6 scale accessories, I believe. And because it's a hobby fair as well, I've got the traditional hobbies as well. So animals, Gundam. Some Imperial Japanese Navy battleships. Nagato, Fuso. They look to be, are these wooden models? Are they made from wood? From wood. Sorry. Hello. Are the models made from wood?
Yeah.
Wood models, yeah, incredible. And look at the detail that's been rendered. Really incredible. Thank you. Hello. Got some perfect grade Gundam on display here from Frontline of Gravity. Nice little diorama here. Thank you. Gundam, of course, very popular in Asia. All the mecha. This shop, they obviously do a lot. They are the full gamut, military, aero, auto, and mecha. Really like the display. They've done putting these little lights in here, so they've got an uplighter here. Everything looks really impressive.
보조 배터리 있으신 분?
See, all over the world, people love the F4 Phantom, and of course the F14. And we've got some great armor sets here. We've got M2 Bradleys, M109 Paladin, Jagdpanther, BMP2, and a Merkava at the end there with the Scud as well. Really nice display. Korean Airways A330, really nice setup. I like the diorama display here on the carrier deck, and some figurines as well to complement it. So that's Fun Club. Thank you. So I'm guessing that's a skeletal form in order to create sculptures. There's an explanation here, but maybe not enough time for that. This is the very small gauge railway set. So you can see right at the back there, they've got a whole line of self-propelled guns, like an armored unit ready for transportation. Of course, in the UK, railway hobby does remain, a much larger component rather than scale modeling. But they've combined that here. So that's the German Grey and Albert Railroad Model Club. We're in the competition area, so this is the 10th year of the show. But competitions don't really feature. They don't feature at the Japanese show, Shizuoka, but they have got one here in Korea. So we'll come back later on and see, what gets awarded, what doesn't. But regardless, a really impressive display. And obviously a fan of UK armour and aircraft here, the Lancaster Meteor. Really weathered Grumman Avenger there.
Mark, did you bring anything for company?
So that's a club display, and the competition area is this section over here. Not really too many models in the competition at the moment. This destroyer looks very impressive with the lighting that's been added to it. And a diorama here of a naval setting. Let's have a look at this. Okay, this is the display here is very impressive. It's an IGN Submarine I-400 made by Hyun Soo Kim. So he depicted in the topography here, going through this arch with the lighthouse at the top, submarines underneath here, and one of the planes is flying out from it. Really beautiful display. You'll have to forgive me, I know that's a United States Navy aircraft carrier, but I don't know which one it is. I'm not going to say Midway or anything, but I'm not too sure. Full flight deck, fully laden with the Wildcats or Hellcats ready to launch. Fletcher destroyer, got the full crew on there as well. And very highly detailed. I don't know if it's scratch built or not, but it's like a sort of cartoon style of a Taiwan Navy ship. I can't tell you which one it is, but still the detailing is really impressive on that. And we've got the lunar module on the moon base. Really strongly weathered. 172 scale Ki-43. Saw the Phantom before. Okay, this section we've got some figurines and busts. Okay, so this is Douglas Lee's diorama depicting, you know, obviously Korean War battle. Chosin with the Sherman M4 A3E8 and these US troops here in this very dramatic snowy setting. And we've got sort of a mixture of armor kit, standalone, and semi-dioramic when you've got a T-34 there with all the German troops around it. Large-scale Panther. Resting Monster. That big M103 there. Tiger 1. Really quite impressive diorama here of a hind that's crashed into this mounting setting, and it's also got a figurine on top there surveying it. T-55 in a dioramic setting. D9R. Really beautiful. I really like this. Got a T-34 76. He's just about to roll over the German trenches with some guys running away from it. It reminds me of the film Cross of Iron. Now there's the Hasegawa kit of that Zaxis. It was really good actually, really high level detail, very well weathered of course, construction equipment. If you're ever struggling for references of your armour, have a look at construction equipment. One of the really big scale, 1/35 scale self-propelled artillery from Trumpeteer there. Guns and Panzers, which is, you know, really well painted modulation style painting on this Panzer IV Guns and Panzer. It really is quite impressive to see that, and then JS2 beside it. Quite dramatic this one, a BT-42 and a Pershing. It is from Girls and Panzer, yeah, so he's done a diorama of Girls and Panzer, which is really good actually. It's really dramatic. Really well captured. Classic sort of scene, Ardennes forest. You know, repeated many times. A KT, lots of, you know, the German Fallschirmjäger on the back and a Schwimmwagen following it up. (1945) Germany diorama here. This is quite beautiful. Look at the lighting that's been employed here with this column. Tiger 2 with the really nice camo on there. K2, of course, the Korea's main battle tank, and I believe that is Girls and Panzer again. But look at the weathering that's been employed on there. It is really high level. So they've got the Mecha Gundam science fiction section here. And for myself, I really enjoy Gundam Mecha science fiction diorama because not only is that genre very interesting and open, but when in a diorama context, let's have a look at this example here. So, a beautiful landscape. You can see at the bottom there's a mecha that's been destroyed, and then look at this bridge that's been. It's a total fantasy. It's actually the bridge is actually the arm of the mecha, and it's got this girl crossing it. It's really, really beautiful, really quite inspiring work there. Wow, Camel looks like this. I think they're preparing for battle. I love the weathering on these guys here. I don't know the genre, it's just too much for me, but those look absolutely, really, really impressive. And again, this is another sort of spin-off again with the really delicately painted sort of girl characters. I don't know what they're called, but the painting again very impressive. Beautiful Gundam Mecha here. And what a great way to show it. It shows it in scale as well. Look at the little figurines at the bottom. Big 72 scale Millennium Falcon. Somebody's riding into battle on a G-Rex. I like this. Look at this. So we've got the character here with the polar bear, and this guy's like, he's taking a chomping, he's bleeding, and he's getting rescued by his compadre there. Really excellent. We might come back. I'm going to have a full series of photographs from here as well. So we'll continue around and we'll talk to some of the guys on some of the display stands. This really caught our eye when we came inside here, Tooth Island. We're not really too sure what it is, but it is really sort of unique. With everything based around teeth, I'm guessing it may well be a dentist. There's all the concept art for these fantasy creations. They actually have got animation inside them. So we've got the character on top of the tooth, a diving bubble version. They're really beautiful. Then we've got some Gundam Mecha figurines with a semi-diorama, I would say. This is really cute. Really cute. It's Han Solo when he's been carbonized. Hellboy. Very impressively painted dragon, I'm guessing here. More Gundam Mecha, etc. And look at this Mercedes, really beautifully detailed and lit up, if you can see the console there. Okay, we're back to military modeling display. This one's really got my attention. It's a long-range reconnaissance patrol returning, and they've got a mule that's been overturned there. It's really nice vignette. Diorama there of a Sherman. I've seen the ruins of the battle. Typical Panther with the Panther Riders. Really nicely worked vignettes here. I like them a lot. Great section of armor. We like that Daewoo excavator a lot, and that is probably scratch built because I have not seen it. And look at this. Here's the prime mover. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at the detailing that's been put into that. Very impressive. Entirely scratch built. Made yourself? Yeah, 100% scratch built. Resin kit? Scratch building, yes. Excellent. Pretty cool. On this display, they've actually got the manual. So a lot of guys ask, well, who made that? Which kit is it? But you know, we've got all who made what here. So you got a Zvezda, JS2, a Trumpeter T72. Everything's been carefully labelled, which really helps. There's the Academy K200. Big phone, tank transporter with a PZ2000 on the back. And of course there's a K2, very popular. Of course it has to be. And has he done? Yes. I'm trying to see. It looks like the suspension is a little bit compressed on that Black Panther, which is a really good way to display it. There's the earlier K1, K9, which is the indigenous self-propelled guns. Got some aircraft on display. There's the Judgment Day Terminator, I don't know, flying aircraft. Some large-scale aircraft here. Got the Harrier F-18 and the Phantom. Phantom you'll see everywhere. F-16 Sufa. I'm just going to cross over here. Here's Sherman's display of all the F-14s that we saw inside his workshop when we first arrived in Korea. And also some other models from the club are here. So Kiwi Man, Scale Modelling Academy. These are really impressive. Now I've seen a lot of guys, they say that when you do a egg-shaped model, it's not the real thing. Believe me, the amount of detail and work that's been put into these sort of blows it away. So they've got the sort of egg-shaped Perry class and a Knox class frigate, but the detailing is exquisite. Really fantastic work. It's a big 32 scale B-17. Okay, this is a sort of hybrid type theme of combining the mecha with the World War II sort of theme in a diorama setting. I'm going to cross over to my favorite. This is a club and it's dedicated to modern AFVs, which of course is the genre that I love. So let's just have a look at some of what's on display. So we've got some IDF equipment, Majax. Got T62 at the back. Here's a K1. This is really nice. He's got a camouflage net displayed around it. There's the Paladin self-propelled gun. This one, M1A2, is really beautiful. Really nice detailing. He's got the holographics around the coupler for the optics, and similarly on this M1A2 SEP. And this is the Academy kit again. Here's some indigenous Korean armor, so got like a full selection. Command vehicles, the K200. That's the air defense version, K263. Really nice little diorama here, the Fennec. And they're just about to launch a UAV. We've got the Dingo as well there from Revell. Here's the Marder, and it's got the Barracuda camo on it. That looks like a lot of work. The earlier and later Mardas. Now, this is a really new kit, the S-400. So this is the Soviet air defense system, and that's only just come out. So somebody's been really busy to get that done. There we go. Here we go. Excellent example. So here's the K2 Black Panther, and if you see that can you see the tilt on it? That is the hydro-pneumatic suspension, and the model has depicted that. So it really looks impressive on there. Even more modern armor here. Continuing. It's K2 again. Okay, so let's look around the trade section. Hello, AFV Club. How are you? Nice to meet you. So you've got your latest. These are latest releases from AFV Club. Yeah, of course. This looks kind of interesting, the LST. So this is a kit and the aftermarket photo etch. And these are quite interesting. These are Taiwan Army, aren't they? Yeah. And these are the latest vehicles used by Taiwan Army. I really like the digital camouflage that they have on them.
이게 레벨 그러니까 이게 배가
Here's Nuts Planet. Nuts Planet produced some stunning fantasy figures, all in resin. Some of them are ready-made dioramas, really. And some historical examples as well. We've got a really nice display on here. So you can see, for example, full set base figures, and there's actually what you'll get inside that box. It is stunning. Life Miniatures, really well known for their busts. I believe these are quite new, the Che Guevara, Rommel, historical figures. So this is Model Art, and Model Art is a Japanese publication. Sadly, Justin, only published in the Japanese language. That's correct, yeah?
Yeah, but we'll try to make it in English.
That would be very interesting. If you're not familiar with Model Art produced a very high quality publication. The photographs and the modelers are carefully selected, I would say. And actually, I'm going to show you one example. Model Art, in their very recent publication, they actually have got the British modeler Spencer Pollard. He's got on the front cover there with the Spitfire Mark I, the new Tamiya, and of course Tamiya as well on the cover with the brand new Sheridan kit. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Got some compressors and airbrushes on display here. It's always great to come to a show and see a brand new company I haven't heard of. These obviously resin figures, I'm guessing resin or 3D print? Resin figure. Really nice genre here. Again, we've got the interesting cartoon type figures, Animal Troopers and Girls in Action, which are, you know, really highly detailed figurines. And a further series here. They're in the 124 scale, 135th. There could be some really interesting diorama possibilities with these figures, or just, of course, as standalone. Really excellent. Thank you. Here's Freedom model kits. They're quite a small small producer of kits, but they have got their own kits that are, I'm not really too familiar with them. I can remember Hero models when they brought out the Schwimmwagen and the Kubelwagen. And then, of course, like we were saying, these egg-style Toon aircraft, very popular. That Nike Hercules is really impressive, actually. I believe they are plastic injection as well. So, paint manufacturer here, and they've got on demonstration their metallic paints, and they look really spectacular. Here's Valkyrie Miniatures. Valkyrie Miniatures, well known for producing tank crew in 1/35 scale to complement modern armor. So they have got a really nice selection. IDF crew, US Army drivers, Canadian, German Army, modern Russian. And they've got them all out on display as well. This is the modeling guide table. They've got some really nice models on display. They've got the 132 scale B25J, F5. Really nice IS-2 there in dioramic setting, and the Tusk Abrams. So it looks as if... Hello. Is modeling guide, is it in multiple languages? Oh, you're the editor. Nice to meet you. Is it in English language as well? English language, so let's have a look. Yes, dual language, so we've obviously compatible for us, and it's actually is a how-to, so it's a guide. A lot of people are he's just told me that the models on display here are featured in volume 2, and of course there, as you see on the cover, there's the actual model. So a lot of people ask how to do things. Books really do help because you've got them readily available. Thank you very much. Tiger One is a very popular subject and will always remain so. And I believe, hello sir, are you making aftermarket parts for the Tiger One? And is it for the Dragon kit or for any kit? RFM, yeah. So which parts do you make then for the aftermarket? Engine deck? Yes? All parts. Really nice. Thank you very much. I will just that's Byung-Soo Kim there. He's doing a painting demonstration. These caught our eye when we came inside here. These are 1/16 scale armor kits made in resin. So got Challenger up there. These M4 A3E8s in 1/16. They got the prices on there. Actually a lot less than I thought. Well, okay, we're looking at $375 for the actual tank kit, and then the crew is $75, the storage set $75. They are very big, very heavy, and very impressive actually. And we've got the here's the Abrams, and actually I think it's not the kit that's produced, it's just all the accessories. The Merkaba's $656. And a Panzer 38 is $280. But if you like them big, this is probably where you're going to come. Okay, this is KA models. When I was in Neighbor hobby shop the other day, we immediately recognized this F14 in 72 scale, and I was intrigued as to who KA Models were. KA Models are an aftermarket company, you know, producing all the detail sets for ships, aircraft, and armor. And I spoke to the guys yesterday. What they've done is they've taken the Fujimi F14, they've actually bought the moldings from Fujimi and have not just reboxed the kit, but they've developed the kit by adding additional details. So you've got a full etch set, you've got the masking set, and you've got really high quality decals that they brought out in a selection. The Fujimi kit is quite old, but the detail on it is excellent. It's very finely rendered, and really in 72 scale I don't think there's anything that surpasses it, really. So it's really good that, you know, this company's been innovative enough to bring it up to date, more or less. So you've got an entire box there, and here's the real one on this kit. 72 scale kits can be priced quite high. This kit is available for about, I think he said about $26. So you're getting a 72 scale kit, all the aftermarket parts included. In addition, when I spoke to the guys yesterday, KA Models are producing engine nozzles that are entirely 3D printed in amazing detail. You can see this F15 without the turkey feathers on. It's got all the actuators, etc. You can get that into focus. It's a little bit tricky. All the detail is rendered as one piece. There's no construction necessary. And this might be the way things are going in the future. Very impressive. So here's our Korean friends, Def Models. Hello! Oh, you got the money. I won't take the money off of you. Okay, so the feature, that very new release from Def Model. Academy have brought out the 1/35th scale AH1Z, and Def Model are produced the resin pilot of the gunner and the pilot, and also a few standing figures, a male and a female helicopter pilot, and in addition, cockpit detailing set and the 20mm Vulcan cannon at the front. That is the, you know, if you want to put the pilots in there, the detail is incredible. I'm just going to zoom in a bit there. Look at these guys. They are absolutely superb, and as is the 20mm Vulcan cannon. In addition, Def Model produced lots of aftermarket parts, resin wheel sets, track sets, and a really interesting set of 1/24th scale figures. This is Tetra Model Works. Pretty much well known for ship aftermarket parts. I mean, the detail really sort of mind-blowing on these ships. A lot of work in the 1/350 scale, and also they did produce quite a lot in 72 scale as well to complement different sets, and 35th scale armor, of course, as well. Hello. How are you? Look at all these. Are the you can see here, this is a ship aftermarket detail set for Akagi. The full flight deck, the really important part is to get the wood flight deck for these models. The grain and everything in scale, the amount of depth and detail are really incredible. And of course barrel sets as well to match. This is a 1/35th scale set to complement a Russian 125mm. So that's a barrel set. So you get the metal barrel, and these are all the detail parts to add on to that barrel to make it accurate. This is quite an innovative product. This is a Barracuda netting or just camouflage netting? Camouflage netting. And it's got the right amount of detail and the modern style. I mean, before it used to look like just like a net, but it's actually got the scrim pattern included inside there. Really complementary to your armor models. So obviously for the new to my Sheridan, the full detail set in photo etch, including that grenade screen at the front. That's quite interesting. I did notice this earlier on, that there are other innovations that are going on. This is a vacuform set. Vacuforming is probably one of the cheapest ways to make models. And if you're unfamiliar with the process, it actually just is taking a styrene sheet and you have a positive mold underneath the vacuum former. Heat is applied to the styrene sheet, and then a vacuum sucks the styrene sheet to produce the positive form, which is this. Then the parts need to be cut out, and then that's your model. And here's some examples here. Obviously not just for scale modeling, but for any crafts or any sort of prototyping and even diorama bases. So you can actually see the creation of a master pattern here, just using a few shapes and some tin foil, and here's the result. And actually you got quite a lot of contouring. So here's the 3 stages. There's the vacuum form. The vacuum form's been cut out, then it's painted, and that's the end result. And then on the other side here as well, we've got a 3D printer. 3D printing, rapid prototyping is more and more take a feature in modeling. And something's coming out. You can see the fine rendered detail on this, the world's best desktop SLA 3D printer. And I think these are a few models that have been produced from there. Got some miniature sets again, more resin figures. Hello. And looks like a special operations. Is this a from a TV series or just your creation? Your creation. So, but very accurate representations of the special ops. PMC type guys, and they're actually in combat poses, sort of readily made vignettes. And oh, incredible. So we've got Sandhurst, we've got a Sandhurst cadet. Sandhurst is where I am from in England. I live in Sandhurst. So, and there he is. There's the Sandhurst cadet and the West Point cadet. And that's really nice that we actually see the.
Will be on April is released in Russia.
Okay, from Russia, yes. So that's a work in progress. Excellent. These look really fascinating, actually. Japanese.
This whole kit is Japanese.
Yep.
Japanese kit. This will be chosen in Korea.
Chosen in Korea. Really beautiful. And some traditional boss types, a US medic, and another samurai figure. Thank you very much. So that's Galapagos Miniatures. Your company is DJ Artwork. Thank you very much. Okay, this is Galapagos Miniatures. They have some more resin busts on display, fantasy figures. Now I think this may be aftermarket decals. We're going to have a look. These are decals for aircraft. Decal. So this is Diopark. There's Max from Taipei. How are you doing? Okay, so Diopark, they chose the route of a lot of the aftermarket parts are produced in resin, but Diopark produced their kits in injection plastic, which is a much easier medium for most modelers to work with, I would say. And they have got some really nice sets. This was one of the most recent releases. They obviously, from the conflicts in Syria and Iraq, there was improvised civilian vehicles that were turned into military weapons. And so what you had was you get a full kit of a civilian vehicle, but with the rocket launching tubes, etc. These are from aircraft launching tubes, and really impressive amount of detail in these kits. They're really excellent. So it's Sunday, the second day of the hobby fair in Korea, and I'm just going to go around a few of the stands now. One thing that needs to be remembered with scale modeling is the amount of time and dedication that's taken to produce scale models. And speaking to the gentleman from Figure Forest yesterday, and actually I didn't realize, but everything on display here, the figures and the 1/48 armor, are actually for sale. So it's quite, they are at a very high level. They aren't really that expensive. If you're interested in scale modeling, have a look at Figure Forest, and you can just get readily constructed models, very well painted, including figures as well. So last night I was speaking to the guys from Model Triad Club here in Seoul in Korea, and I did notice these signs yesterday, no airbrush, but I really wasn't too sure of the relevance of that until it was explained to me that every single one of these models have been entirely painted with brush. So there's a bit of a misconception amongst a lot of modelers. You need an airbrush, you need to spend a lot of money on equipment, compressors. Well, this sort of proves otherwise, because everything on this table has been finished using brush work, and as you can see, the quality, the finish, it's all there. It's just a bit of time, a bit of patience and learning about scale modeling. So it's quite a good philosophy. The guys were saying as well, they had a lot of people asking, a lot of the guys here in Korea were asking, what is no airbrush? And here's your answer. So thank you very much. I've just come back to the competition area. The actual judging was yesterday, so the awards have been made. This is the best of show, the IGN Submarine, in this very dramatic setting. I did feature this in earlier footage, but it's really nice to see this rewarded. I'm going to sort of skim through. There have been a few more. There's a few more entries that I didn't capture yesterday, so I'm just going to zip around and show them to you. Of course, there will be an awards ceremony for the medal winners, gold, silver, bronze, commended as usual. Format. This is really one to pick out. Have a look at, of course, Dioramag, and you will see this diorama in the pages. I am fortunate enough to see it in reality. This quite incredible MiG-29 diorama with the technicians working on it. Really superb. I was very impressed by this one. I did like the presentation of a lot of the armor class on these bases. Really, to put them in a setting like that, very attractive, very complimentary. Some very nice little vignettes. This one really caught my eye, actually, the US Jeep with the maintenance setting.
Okay, Benny, this is mine. Oh, okay. Over there, the big model
Gustav, thank you so much for Korea 2019. Absolutely fantastic. Our guest here. Come on, USA, buy the Talon, buy Wolfpack. It's the most detailed one you can find as well. Really, really great company. Small producer, but they've got T2C Buckeye as well. The US Navy's former trainer. It's now retired, but a very unusual airframe, the Buckeye. And I think you do a 72 and do you do a 48 scale Buckeye as well? Or is it just the Goshawk that's in 72 and 48? So I really hope you've enjoyed this video of the Hobby Fair Korea 2019. This is their 10th year of the show. My first time to attend. I really hope I can come back in the future. I've enjoyed it immensely. Norio, great to meet you. Thank you so much.